Alrighty, Joe, are you ready to drop a pod? No,
wait.
just totally. That sounded cooler in my head. That
Drop a pod, wouldn't it? That sounds so.
I thought it was gonna be like we're gonna like drop the mic, but it's gonna be like drop the pod. I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
wait.
that might work. it just sounds like you're talking like about shit. But
No, it was leaving my mouth, and I was like, nope, that was
Yeah.
a bad thing to say. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes, welcome to the Drop Pod. We got a lot to talk about, but we're gonna start this off like any normal Drop Pod would. We're gonna talk about video games a bit. First topic on hand I want to talk about is the recently, what was it, a couple weeks ago, I think, the Sony announced or officially revealed the PlayStation Pro,
yeah,
which is the
PlayStation Pro.
It was originally codenamed Neo, right?
Yeah, that's right. So that was a Neo. They announced that at a PlayStation meeting.
Yeah.
Which was a weird thing in general, but
Yeah, they announced the PlayStation 4 Slim and the PlayStation Pro. But
That's right.
I wanted to bring it up because, we talked about Project Scorpio a bit back during our E3 Drop Pod. And I feel like what's interesting is that the consoles seem to be going in like this direction of like kind of like the cell phone business, where like they release and like a debut version, and then like a little while later they release like a refined version,
right.
And let me ask you, after seeing the PlayStation Pro, has that convinced you anymore to actually go out and actually finally purchase a PlayStation 4? Like, were you interested in what they had to show?
Well, I actually want a PlayStation anyway, but I've just not really got around to it, or I don't really have space for it at the minute. So, but I don't think the PlayStation Pro has really made me think, now I've definitely got to go and make room for a PlayStation. It kind of just makes me think, I guess I'll wait until I get it. It's kind of put me in the mentality of like mobile phones, where if I don't see that much of a drastic change, I'll probably just wait until like the next iteration.
Yeah.
But I guess because I want a PlayStation anyway, I guess it's kind of made me wait and think, I guess I'll wait until the PlayStation Pro comes out now and just get that. I guess that's the only thing it's done. I guess it's like the same with the Xbox as well, though. Like, say if I was going to get an Xbox One, I'm probably just going to wait for the Scorpio, you know what I mean? Or whatever it's called.
Right.
But nothing really stood out to me because I ain't got a 4K TV.
Yeah.
It would be nice. But, I guess I kind of feel like I need to invest in a 4K setup if I was to get like a Pro anyway. So I don't even know at this point, I don't know.
Yeah. I think in general, technology culture has sort of embraced the next steps in technology a lot quicker nowadays than like back in the day. Like, it took a long time, I think, for HD TVs to like really to be the norm, I guess. So I'm trying to say, like,
exactly.
And it seems like a lot more people are embracing 4K a lot more quicker than they did HD. So that's also putting more pressure on the consoles to really step up their game, because like PC gaming is already at 4K for the most part, 144 hertz, whatever. So,
well, I was just going to say, like, the funny thing is with this as well is it's like when PlayStation 4 was coming out and all that kind of stuff, a lot of people were saying, we're getting into the generations of consoles now where, you're not going to get like the PlayStation 3 and it's going to be like 10 years before like the PlayStation 5 gets announced.
Yeah.
And I don't know if actually people was actually predicting that it was going to be a case of like yearly updates of consoles was going to be a thing. But that kind of feels like it's like the mobile phone market in a way, I guess, kind of what Apple does.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if anything's going to come after the Pro. What are going to the PlayStation Pro S? Is that going to be a thing the year after the Pro comes out? It moves so quickly these days, and it's a good thing, I think. Because technology does move fast. So I'm not against it at all, man. I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly that both the Pro and the Scorpio are meant to be like future-proofing, the console generation, at least like to bridge the gap between the current generation and the next generation, Yeah. But what I find interesting is that, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel so when they were asked about who the PlayStation Pro was meant for, Andrew House, I forget his official title, but he said that, you know, this is not necessarily meant for like the PlayStation fans or whatnot. It's more meant for the PC market. And there was a recent interview with someone at Microsoft who sort of echoed similar sentiments. Like, Microsoft and Sony don't seem to be competing with each other with these new iterations. They seem to be trying to go after that coveted now PC market, which is I find really interesting, because that is an uphill battle, you know, with regardless of specs, you know, because anyone who's a PC enthusiast who's going to look at your console specs and be like, okay, I can live with that. Yeah. You know, is going to have a pretty high bar, you know.
It's kind of weird in general, because they're very different things. Like, if you're a PC gamer, it's like, you know, you've got the desktop, that's where you game, you know what I mean? That's primarily where you're going to be. I think it sounds so cliche, but it's more like a lifestyle thing in a way, because I feel like consoles are more catered to chilling in your living room, you know, maybe you've got a family, you know, maybe you haven't got time to be sitting at your desktop, like playing games all day. I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel like a console is something I'll be more invested in. If I had a family, maybe I've got like a living room, you know, maybe I've got some time to chill, play with my kids, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. So it kind of feels like it can be a different market, and I don't know if like catering towards the same market is like, because I can't think of one person who plays on PC who's going to stop playing PC just to get a PS4 or an Xbox One. You're just not going to do it. I don't know one person who would do that.
But I mean, that's the thing, like the rise in PC gaming nowadays, like you see a lot of local multiplayer games, and you see like the PC is becoming a much more acceptable console for the living room. Well. You know, everything with like Steam's big picture mode, you know, it makes it so much easier to just hook up a TV to a PC, and then, you know, sort of have the similar living room experience that you used to get only on the consoles. So,
and it would be better as well, because obviously if you've got a high enough PC, the specs are going to be better than what you can get on a console. But.
So I feel like the console market it's interesting. This has to be a first, where like the major contenders in the quote unquote console war seemingly, again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, you know, maybe they're just being nice, you know, but it seems like they're sort of banding together and being like, yo, we got this third entity that's not Nintendo coming in and taking and pretty much doing what we do, but doing it better. And you know, as technology grows easier and easier for people to deal with, you know, it's more sooner than later consoles are going to become obsolete, because consoles are already becoming mini PCs in their own right, you know. And you know, even with like Microsoft sort of embracing PC to the extent of, you know, that was it Play Anywhere or whatever, play on the Xbox and play on the PC, you know. So it's obvious that the console market is starting to feel the heat of the PC market. So I don't know how to feel about it really. Like, it's always been sort of like, you know, the consoles are a gated community. You know, can they exist in a space where like they also can appeal to PC gamers in some way? You know?
Yeah, it feels like they're kind of being created on that middle ground where, you know, a lot of people have had a lot like focus on like frame rate these days, like 60 frames per second, like 1080p, and like the current consoles are like pretty much struggling to do that. So it's like they finally got to a point where they think, I guess fuck it, let's just like create like a pro version of this console where we can try and like meet these and kind of get that middle ground for like people who actually give a shit about frame rate and that kind of thing.
My assumption, or at least what I believe Sony might try to do in order to appeal to the PC market is to really market PlayStation Pro as the device, as the go-to VR device. You know, because obviously the PS4 Pro exists so that they can actually do VR, because, you know, there's not enough horsepower in the original PS4 to, you know, properly accompany VR requirements. And considering that, you know, things like Oculus and HTC Vive are so expensive, You know, what if like Sony comes out with like a bundle price that is maybe almost sort of the equivalent, but then they bundle it with the PlayStation and you get all these add-ons or extra perks that come with the whole package. You know, not only can you play VR games, but you can also play, you know, God of War and all of these other things. So I think that's the only marketing direction I think Sony can go at this point, because even in terms of like technical specs, apparently they're a lot weaker than the Scorpio. So, you know, it's a question of what do you do to bait the PC market into, you know, without obviously highlighting the very obvious cons of going with the console over, you know, a PC.
Well, the big thing with a PS4 Pro as well is it doesn't actually have like a Blu-ray drive, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of weird that they would cater a console towards that audience with the 4K TVs and not really give it a native like Blu-ray drive.
Yeah, I'm mainly interested in the way that they're going to try and tie this to PC gaming, because that is, again, a major uphill battle. Well, speaking of uphill battles, boy, I don't know if you've kept up with these lovely people, but and we have to tread lightly here, Joe, because we do not want to be the victims of this.
I don't want a lawsuit.
Independent developer. So, Digital Homicide, if you do not know, is a independent developer who produced a lot of questionable quality games.
Yeah.
And for their efforts, they were really brought into the spotlight by the lovely games critic Jim Sterling, who is very brash in his own right, very blunt, you know, has a lot of very charged opinions sometimes, and Digital Homicide was not very happy with the way that Mr. Sterling felt about a lot of their games. So in response to that, sued him for like I think 15 million in damages and
wow.
A lot of money. And so that was the last we heard of them for a while. But recently they resurfaced because they decided suing a video games critic was not enough. Let's go after random internet users on the Steam forums. So what was it, like 100 Steam users, I believe they've filed a lawsuit against for, what is it, like giving negative reviews of their games on Steam or something? Like, pretty much, once again, just, you know, suing for libel or whatever. But the thing is that it's 100 anonymous users. They have no records of anything other than these users' screen names. And
there's even more to this, right? Didn't they?
So what they did was to try and make it more official is they tried to subpoena Steam themselves, or Valve, I should say. For, I guess, the account details for these users. And instead of, you know, going with this allegedly, I'm going to say, stupid lawsuit, Steam decided instead to just pull their games. You know, we don't want to deal with this crap, so we're just gonna remove you for harassing our users, you know?
Yeah, basically. Good. Thank fuck.
Yeah.
Get that shit off Steam.
Any logical person would be like, okay, I lost this battle, let's just move on. Not Digital Homicide. Nope. Digital Homicide decided they're gonna sue Valve for I don't even know what for at this point. I don't even remember. I don't even know. So
this person is just clearly grasping at straws for any reason.
It's two brothers, I think, and apparently these guys are like in their 30s with families and everything.
Yeah, so they have families and stuff.
It's I just wanted to bring it up because it's like, what kind of world do we live in these days where like
that's even a thing.
I understand, you know, maybe they put their heart and soul into these games, they're just not very creative. Let's just give them the reasonable doubt of that much. And I get it. You put your heart and soul into something, people start bad mouthing you feel kind of bad, but come on, really? Like, you're seeking legal representation to just suing everybody for like ridiculous amounts of money that you'll probably never see in your lifetime, because it's such a ridiculous amount of money, even if you were to win somehow in some weird universe.
Well, it's fucked as well, because the amount of games these guys were churning out is literally at a rate where they're just throwing these games together, sticking them on Steam. Like, is it just to get quick cash and like You know, they don't understand that people can play these games and discuss these games and say how shit these games are. Like, they steal assets and things. They put these games out. Like,
allegedly,
it's so crazy.
Allegedly.
And it's just bizarre to me that they want to die on this hill of like suing everybody. I guess they've got nothing else to lose. I mean, apart from their credibility, which I guess they never had much of to begin with.
Yeah.
It just baffles me, man.
Yeah, I don't know the end game here. Like, what is... Like, let's say you do win. Then like, what? Like, where does the money come from?
Don't you have to pay to, like... Do you even have to pay for these lawsuits? Like...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They're seeking legal representation, which means they can't find a lawyer who is like, yes, you have a case here.
Oh, I remember reading this, that he's representing himself.
Yeah, well, I think they tried to start an Indiegogo or something to get... to raise funds to hire legal representation, and that failed.
Unbelievable.
In fact, I think they got trolled so hard with chargebacks in that Indiegogo that they actually had to take down the Indiegogo or something like that happened.
Oh my god. Yeah. When does this end? What is the end game? How does it end?
I have no idea.
Can these developers even get even more desperate? Like, I don't understand. I don't know what else they could do. Yeah. I'm glad all the games are off Steam.
The funny thing is, like, I want to say that this has to be the end because there's just no one left to sue. Like, who do they sue next? Like, do they go after, like, the lawyer who says, no, you have no case? Do they start suing the lawyer because...
How have they not sued YouTube yet? Like, I don't get it. They're going to sue the internet. They're going to file... They're going to try and subpoena the internet. I don't know how to do that.
I'm guessing they're probably not on the best terms with YouTube considering they abused the DMCA to get Jim Sterling's videos taken down in the first place. So
yeah, it is messed up, man. I don't understand these people. I don't know what's going through their minds. It's quite worrying in a way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these reviews aren't being done in malice, at least originally. You know, people were playing these games just saying how shit they were. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like you see the same thing with like book authors and stuff, you know, like people will read their work online, say how shit it is, and then the authors will just lash out like saying, you know, how dare you give my book a negative review? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, some people just... Actually, a lot of people don't know how to handle criticism well. It's just... I think it's sort of just human nature and, you know...
Now, I could probably understand it if they spent a year or two on this game. You know, they put a lot of time and money, a lot of effort, a lot of work. Not saying they didn't. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty shady if they did because the games were pretty shit. So if you put in that much time and effort into these games and like what was it, like 20 games in a year, maybe more?
I'm sort of getting to the point where I'm just like, man, I feel bad for these guys because clearly they got some issues,
right?
And the way that they're going about doing it is just all wrong, and it doesn't help that the internet is just laughing at them at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I just kind of hope it ends and they just fizzle out and go on to do something else.
Yeah, please, before your whole fucking reputation is just completely destroyed.
I think they're beyond that by now.
Or you could go into a cupcake making business and I don't know. If you just carry on the way you are, people are going to know your name even worse. Like you could. I think at this point you could essentially ditch out and just go and start something else. You know, not under digital homicide. Just use your real names. Just I don't know.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, we've talked about video games. It's time to talk more about channel things.
Yep.
Alright, so, if you missed it somehow, back at the start of the month, I did a Munch episode sort of detailing the future of the channel. And if you didn't watch it, you should definitely go and watch it for the more detailed version. But essentially, starting in October, we're not going to be doing daily videos anymore. And that's simply because we just don't have time, you know. It's been very difficult to sort of keep up the schedule. And before we move on, we should probably say that it was actually at the start of the month that we reached our third year of doing this.
Yeah.
For a consistently doing this for 3 years.
Yeah. And, just remember that 3 years, and we've released videos every day, pretty much. It was only recently that we stopped releasing videos every day.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say for the first two years plus, we released a video every day without fail.
Yeah. Sometimes more.
Yeah, sometimes more.
I think the last I checked it, the overall number of videos that we released is 1,600.
So it's way past like one video a day from when we started, you know?
We've done a lot of content, but yeah, so I mean, honestly, I gotta say that given the fact that we have done this for so long, and it's been we function on a like what, a 10 to 11 hour difference.
Yeah, the time difference between Keen and I is at least 10 hours, you know, depending on the time of year. So yeah,
it's insane just how much we were able to just maintain our schedule. And it's unfortunate, but you know, that is the thing that I wish that we could have figured out a way to, you know, be on a better time schedule, but it's kind of impossible. You know, we're two grown men with with our own schedules, you know, our own responsibilities in real life. So yeah,
exactly.
But
you know, it's like there's jobs, there's family. You know, you know, I don't want to talk about age too much, but you know, we're not like sprite teenagers, if you can probably guess by like the content we do and like things like that. So
yeah, hell or high water too, man. Like I'm sick right now. We're doing this, so
yeah,
we've recorded. We were recorded through hell sometimes, but it's just, you know, yeah, that is the unfortunate situation. But I do want to stress, you know, before anyone feels completely discouraged from continuing to follow the channel, this is not the end. You know, we might talk like this is the end, but it's not. Like, hopefully when we've got a better grasp on our future situation, we'll be able to continue to keep recording strictly multiplayer stuff. I think is important because, you know, we always enjoy playing with each other. It's just, again, finding time has been the most difficult part of that. But I think once we have a better understanding of where our schedules will be, you know, in the near future, we'll obviously update the channel. But yeah, as it stands now, the daily stuff is sort of, you know, breaking off. Let's reminisce a bit before we talk about the future. So, you know, again, something that I've always talked about, like when we've done these sort of like, you know, looking back at our adventures here on the channel, I gotta say that it's weird to watch like the early stuff versus now. Like I was so more like soft spoken and modest. Now I'm just yelling at everything because I'm amped up on energy, and well, usually when I'm not sick, but you know, it's just funny to see that me personally, someone who has always been behind the scenes and still am, you know, but seeing that transition from being, I'd rather, you know, not be so outspoken to just being like whatever comes to my mind. And I know it's sort of different for you though, because like you had experience like live streaming before we started the channel, so I feel like you were probably more comfortable with, you know, just sort of speaking your mind while you're playing a game, right?
Yeah, I think you could say that, but at the same time it was actually a little bit hard for me because it's really hard to talk to people who aren't there. You know, when I'm playing a game on Twitch, it's so much easier for me just to like talk and be natural, you know, just respond to people in the chat, just talk about the game in that way and react in that way. But you know, especially in the first part of recording, I still don't think I'm 100% comfortable with it, you know. But even like in the first days of recording, it was really, really weird, like talking to nobody, you know. It was so bizarre. I couldn't, it was really uncomfortable for me. I don't think I'll ever be really, really comfortable with it. You know, I'm sure some people aren't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely weird how things change over time.
I honestly think that's why I like seeing comments on our videos, because it makes me feel better about the fact that when I was recording this, I was sitting there alone, usually probably in the dark because it was late at night, you know, getting through a game and being like, okay, I'm talking to myself, but I know that in the future, someone's probably going to hear these words, you know, and, you know, maybe have an opinion about what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you ever commented on a video, it was cool because it felt like I wasn't actually talking to myself when I actually made the video. But yeah, I mean, we could idealistically do with like another kind of just retrospective, like a whole video to itself, because there's so much we could say about like the past few years of like just doing this.
It's been such a great learning experience to be on to work on Tengu Drop, because you know, I had no idea what we were getting into, and then you know, we found our respective sort of places, you know, like we got some recognition for some of our hard work, you know. Things like the nuclear throne content, the Talos Principle content, you know, and we've expressed, you know, how much effort and time we put into those pieces in general, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, to see that, you know, people actually really enjoy that work, you know, is something that I'll take to my grave, because, you know, it's great to see that, you know, my hard work and dedication, I could see, you know, sort of the response, you know, and you know, not sort of made an impact, but, you know, I put something out there, people liked it, and, you know, that's great.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I've always tried to do is just, you know, you know, sometimes I just play games I know nothing about, which is literally a lot of what this channel was, you know.
Yeah.
Just playing games, never playing the game before, just blind playthroughs and like blind reactions. But you know, sometimes there were games that I really enjoyed, and you know, the fact that a lot of people enjoyed watching me play the games that I enjoyed, you know, they were probably the best moments for me. Just like when people really enjoyed like my videos or like the playthroughs I did, and you know, just really enjoyed like my experience with the games. It was always really nice getting comments and like, you know, just thumbs up even just on the videos. You know, getting comments like people saying, "Oh, you guys deserve more subscribers," and you know, "I can't wait like till you guys are huge," and like, "I was one of your first subscribers," and things like that. Like comments like that always pretty much just kept us making videos, at least for me.
Yeah. The amount of support that we've seen over the years has been just astounding. Like, again, we always say it, but like, I really didn't expect like anyone to be watching the stuff that we do. I really don't think that I do anything special other than, you know, work hard. So
yeah,
you know, it's very endearing to see that hard work, you know, mostly
get appreciated.
Yeah, get appreciation. And
well, that's it, man. YouTube is a funny thing. It's a pretty, you know, open space. There's just so many people who like just play games and things like that, you know.
Yeah,
it's really difficult to kind of etch out like a niche or kind of get like a consistent viewing, it seems, just from, you know, even if you do work as hard as Keaton and I, you know, it kind of feels like, you know, we never really reach the upper echelon, which is cool because we never really kind of strive for that, I guess. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, talking about the politics of YouTube and things like that could be a completely other video, I suppose.
Sure. I mean, I think like it would have always been great to do this as a living, but you know, we're realistic. Yeah. Like, as much as we wanted to, you know, do something more than it just being a hobby, like we specifically kept ads off the channel because we didn't want to make the jump until we were ready, you know. And
exactly, that's why we've never had ads on any of our videos.
Yeah, and if you ever see an ad, that's because someone else has put an ad on it because of copyright
strike. Because we've got no, what do you call it? We've got no like
agency. We've got no legal defense there. So
yeah, like we've done everything solo, literally everything. We've rejected every request to for networks to kind of want to be a part of like our channel, just because we never felt we were big enough, you know. We, you know, if we ever got to a point where we got like a certain amount of viewers or a certain amount of like views per video, then maybe we would have like gone up a little bit, but you know, never got to that stage, and that's why we never put ads on any of our videos. You know, truth be told, we've never made 1 cent from these past 3 years. Videos every day. The amount of time that Keaton and I have like sacrificed just for the love of this channel and just for the love of playing games.
Yeah.
We never made any money, and we, you know, we never started out as wanting money.
Yeah.
And
would have been nice though.
It would have been nice, you know. It would have been really great to like actually have like some kind of.
Honestly, it would have been great if we could have had some kind of budget for games, because goddamn, games are expensive.
It's an expensive hobby, man. Luckily, we've built up a relationship with a lot of great developers, and you know, we can't complain at that at all.
Yeah.
You know, we have got our fair share of like, you know, press copies of games that let us play for the channel, which we always appreciated. Like, the number one thing, you know, after like the viewers and things, is just the amount of work like the devs, because we, you know, we made a lot of great relationships with like, you know, Vlambeer, you know, again for like Nuclear Throne and things like that, and even, you know, Crow Team for like Talos Principle, you know, even a lot of other indie games and things like that.
Yeah. And independent developers have definitely been good to us. You know, we reach out to some companies and we'll just be like, hey, you know, we're a small channel, but you know, we think that our viewers would love to see your game. You know, is there anything we can work out? And you know, a lot of the times we either get no response or like, put you on a list, or we'll get back to you, and they never do. But
even games of like that are free, you know, games I've played that I just browse like itch.io for and stuff or whatever, and you know, the devs, or like more times than not, they will actually comment on the videos and like say, oh, you know, thanks for checking out my game, and you can't even tag these guys in any way, and it just shows like the dedication for those guys, you know, like they enjoy that people are playing their games. And you know, being a part of Tengu Drop, I played a lot of fucking games. There's so many games. Like, there's actually been points where I've played a game and then I realized I've played the game like a year later. Like, I was like, what? I actually played this game before? Like, it's crazy.
You played like the prototype or the game jam version.
Yeah, exactly. And it's happened to me a few times. Like just a couple of weeks ago, a game called Fabric came out and I was like, oh my God, dude, I played that like 2 years ago.
So, I mean, Tengu Drop, again, just an amazing experience. Would not, maybe I do a couple of things differently, just for the sake of my health and like, you know.
A lot of time.
I don't know, maybe I would go back and be like, hey, if you're gonna do this, get on a better time schedule. This is gonna be important. That's been the hardest thing.
Time difference fucked us over completely. 3 years is a long time. I think a lot of changes in 3 years, you know, like we both have lives. It's getting a bit crazy to actually continue this. You know, obviously we love everybody who comments on our videos. We love like the appreciation we have. But the fact that we've done videos every day, and you just gotta remember, you know, uploading videos every day is one thing. But we've actually got to record these videos. We've got to edit these videos. The amount of time that goes into editing, the amount of time where things go wrong and you have to re-edit or whatever. You record something, it doesn't record, so you've got to redo it. Just think about all that time, and we haven't got. It was all just for fun, just as a hobby, and
There was once a time before my internet was moderately okay, where a video would take 3 to 5 hours to upload.
Keane's internet's always been pretty shitty, especially in the early days. But
it's been a hell of a ride. But again, you know, we're not going anywhere technically. We're
still going to be here.
Nothing's going to be deleted. Well, maybe unless like we get slammed with copyright, we might have to private those videos because we have no way of verifying, you know, because that's the thing. We deal with a lot of copyright trolls, you know, quote flagger videos, either claiming to be part of some other representing some other talent or just a random name. Like we'll get false copyrights on a lot of things and just have to change it, you know. But none of the videos will be removed as far as we can control it. And hopefully, again, you know, once we have a more solid idea of how our schedules will be in the future, we're definitely going to still make content. But
I mean, I was just going to talk about the future a little bit because you're starting up a solo channel, right?
Yeah. So I still want to make videos because weirdly enough, making videos has become like part of like the best part of you know, my ongoing life. So my life is a bore, so I get to be fun.
Oh yeah, it's a hobby, dude. It has been for 3 years, you know.
It's something I look forward to doing, and you know, just because I can't do it at the same time as you know, doesn't mean I want to stop doing it. So I mean, I'm still gonna try, you know, keep making content, trying new things, trying weirder things that I don't think would necessarily fit on Tengu Drop, but you know, who knows. If you want to follow me on my solo journey, the YouTube link is incredibly long because YouTube is weird like that, but I think the short link is bit.ly/Mod0YT YouTube. So we'll put links in the description. You can follow me there. Hopefully I'll start releasing stuff in October if I get better by then. But on your side, so I mentioned in the Munch episode, like I really had no idea where you were gonna go, but I pressured you, and you said, well, at least add the Twitch. So are you twitch.tv/Lost Hope Fate?
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the old Twitch I used to go on.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
Yeah.
A few people have like reached out and kind of hope I make content. But to be honest with you guys, it's like at the point I'm at now, all my time literally goes into work and just Tengu Drop. I've not really had a chance to really set up or like think about what I'm doing next. I'm actually going away at the start of October, so I probably won't even think about it until like the first week after October, if I'm being honest with everybody.
Right.
So all I can say is just follow Tengu Drop. Just keep subscribing to Tengu Drop, and just if you don't follow Tengu Drop Twitter, I guess you can follow that if you're just interested in what I'm going to do next. Because as soon as I know, or as soon as I decide what I'm doing, I'll make a video about it on Tengu Drop and just kind of say what it's going to be. And obviously I'll tweet out when that video goes up and whatever the changes are. But right now there's not really much I can plug. I just need a break, man. I'm going away at the start of October, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
In October, but we're going to be making videos on Tengu Drop for like the next week anyway, until October.
So yeah, we have one more week of videos. So once again, we're not going away just yet.
Yeah.
Or we're not totally stopping just yet, I should say. So stay tuned. Yeah, but it's been fun. Talked about video games, talked about channel stuff. Once again, if you want to follow us on any of the future things that we shall be doing, everything can be found in the description below.
Yep.
And as always, before we leave, love to know your thoughts. Love to know your thoughts on the console generations, where they're going. How do you feel about Digital Homicide shenanigans recently? And if you want to share any fun stories about the channel, when you guys came in to the fold, if you will.
Yeah.
Love to reminisce with you guys in the comments. So be sure to leave whatever's on your mind in the comments. We always appreciate them, as we said. And
yes.
If this happens to be the last time that you guys actually see us, listen to us, thank you so much for your support. It's been well appreciated. Can't even put into words just how much we've appreciated hopefully entertaining you fine folks, and hopefully we'll still do it in the future. So
100%.
Yeah, so once again, thank you so much. And I guess until the next time we hopefully see you, take care of yourselves. We'll see you guys then for whatever we're doing. So, yeah. Bye.
See you later, guys.